Hi, I'm Bill de la Rosa. I was born in the small border town in Nogales, Arizona, to Arsenio de la Rosa and Gloria Arellano. My father was a crop duster most of his life, a dangerous job, not only because he had to fly low altitudes, but also because of the chemicals he inhaled over the years, and that took a toll on his health, and he could no longer work. My mother worked really hard. She cleaned houses and hotel rooms, and it was her income that we relied the heaviest on. My father became a US citizen in 2000. I was 7 years old, and I still remember that day. He was incredibly proud. Voting is a privilege he takes very seriously, and as an immigrant, he knew the value of his American passport. He used to worry about where it was, and always kept it tucked in his front shirt pocket, checking to see it was always there. Looking back, I remember those days as days of great hope. We also thought it was a step forward for my mother in her quest for citizenship. In 2009, my mom had started the paperwork to become legalized. She left Fort Juarez to confirm her green card status. It turned out that her legal status had lapsed, and despite the legal fees and paperwork, she was barred on the spot and told she could not come back to the US. I was 15 years old. I remember that phone call as if it were yesterday. She was crying. And through her tears, she told me that she couldn't come back home for 10 years. My little brother Bobby was 4, and my sister Naomi, 9. I didn't know how I was going to tell them. I couldn't believe it. I thought she'd be gone for a few weeks, but never out of our lives. We have just over 3 years left before she can come back. Our lives have changed so much. Because we lost Mom's income, my older brother Jim enlisted in the Marine Corps, and we relied on his military pay to pay the bills. My father had a stroke shortly after, and I became his caretaker, and I became a parent to Bobby and Naomi. I took care of their meals, and I had to figure out what proper nutrition meant. As they grew older, I helped with their homework, made sure they had the clothes they needed. I bought them shoes, backpacks, and bunk beds. If they needed it, I tried my best to make sure they had it. There were local church groups that helped in lots of ways. Meals, turkey at Thanksgiving, gift cards so I could buy the children Christmas gifts or school supplies. I don't think I will ever be able to adequately express what that meant to our family. In the beginning, I kept this to myself, but the teachers figured it out. I showed up to a parent-teacher conference by myself, and that set off alarms. When they would ask me about my plans for Thanksgiving, and I said we weren't having one, the word got out, and they went out of their way to make sure we had what we needed. They helped me after class. When I was a junior in high school, my US history teacher said, "I see so much potential in you. I'm going to pair you with my dad, who is working to help the Pueblo high school community." From there, I was exposed to people. I shadowed professionals in their jobs and built a strong network of people who became mentors. I joined a college prep program called Student Expedition, a group working specifically with first-generation college students. My parents taught me that education was the way out of poverty. I think that drove me to do so well in school. I was part of their hope for the future. I was determined. And I was also trying to figure out how me pursuing a college degree fit in with my responsibilities at home. Jim was off in the Middle East on active duty, and I had my father and 2 children to care for. But things took shape. Jim completed his tour, was honorably discharged, and came home to be the caretaker and give me a chance to pursue my dreams. So I, with a lot of hard work and determination, and with the support of my community, teachers and mentors, I continued to lay a path for my education. Today, I stand before you, a member of the 2016 graduating class of Bowdoin College. A Truman Scholar, a Gates Millennium Scholar, and a John Lewis Fellow. I was recently named the National Hispanic Scholar of the Year. Thank you. The director of that college prep program and I have become great friends, and we're working together to form an alumni board, widen our impact. After my graduation, I was able to fly home to show my college diploma to my father. Then I went to visit my mother and showed it to her. They are both proud and filled with hope. I live and work in Washington, D.C. for the Department of Health and Human Services. Now that I have a more stable income, I can help my family in a bigger financial way. Jim is attending community college. The church group's teachers and counselors are now keeping an eye on Bobby and Naomi, now 11 and 16. I still go to those parent-teacher sessions when I can, but if I can't, Jim has it covered. We're working on getting full guardianship for their care, just in case we need it. We continue to work to build a brighter future for our family. You know, I often feel like a dad, and my mind is always on the children. So my hopes and dreams focus on getting Bobby and Naomi through school, safe and ready for college. I want them to do well and to succeed. When they graduate from college, I want them to return to a stable home where my mom is waiting with open arms. And someday, I want them to be able to buy a home. That's the nation I want to make. And I have hope, because when I look out at all of you, it reminds me that united we are strong. We can make a difference. Thank you.